Hey guys, welcome back to Keeping Up with China. So today we're back with another video. If you're new, welcome, and if you're not, welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing a story time. So I'm trying to do a little bit more, make it a little bit more interesting, because I realized that I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I watch my videos, I'll be like, I need more content, I need more, more things to talk about and stuff, rather than just my stutter and stuff like that. So I have my wine here, you guys. So yeah, so I'm gonna be telling you guys a story. Well, it's not really, it's just an incident that happened at work, and actually two incidents that happened at work. When I tell you guys, today is Friday, and I was so I went to a trip to New York for my birthday last week, and I came back on Monday night, and I worked Tuesday night, and I had to do 3 in a row. So I had to do Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night. When I tell you guys, it was the worst week I've had yet. Like, when I tell you guys, I don't know what's going on. I know it's the season where, like, people tend to get sick, and it's just that season. The snowbirds are here, people from up north, they're all here and stuff like that. I don't know, I guess that's what it is, but I don't know, this week was just different. It was weird. It was just a horrible week, you guys. Like, I had to write 2 incident report back to back, and then my last day, which was yesterday, when I tell you guys, it was so crazy busy. Like, I didn't have time to do nothing, and I had a patient where I really thought that he was gonna die on me. Like, so it was a hospice patient, and in our hospital, we have like a partnership with this other company that's actually located in the hospital too. It's called and the hospice patient goes there after they get a bed available. So I was just taking care of this patient, and when I tell you guys, I honestly felt like this patient was gonna die. Funny thing is, the night before, I had him for like the first couple of hours, but then because we got so much new patient that was on the board waiting to get beds and stuff like that, that was waiting to get admitted, they called in another nurse, and the other nurse came, so we all had to give away one of our patients. And guess what I did? I gave away my patient, the one that I thought was gonna go. Like, I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, I had a patient that died before, but but I had my preceptor with me, so she kind of helped me out. She basically did all the work, you guys. So I honestly just I was just there for the whole experience. So yeah, so I was like, this man is not gonna die. When I tell you guys, this man was gonna die. Like, I honestly felt like he was, I don't know how he survived the night. So I gave away that patient to the new nurse that was coming in. So I'm just like, okay, thank God I'm, that's done with, But then again, for that night, I thought, I gave away that patient. I should have a, pretty smooth end of the night. And then my patient died. My patient fell on her feces. And then it was a whole commotion. It was just a mess. And I had to write an incident report, blah, blah, blah. I had to stay back late. It was just a mess. And then the night before that, I had this one guy. He was just, oh my God, this man. So, he is a alcohol abuser, so he drinks heavily, and y'all know that while you're in the hospital, you can't drink. So he was just he was having alcohol withdrawals and stuff, and when I tell you, this man drove me crazy. He literally called me like every 15 minutes, just want to talk, just asking me, how am I doing, how's my night going. And then he kept on asking me, oh, when's my next pain medication? I'm just like, yo, listen, I just gave you your pain medication like about 15 an hour ago. Why you keep on asking me? It's every 4 hours, okay? Like every 4 hours. Don't call me. Like he just kept on calling and calling about the most stupidest thing, and then at some point it got so bad that he just got out the room, started walking around. We're just like, oh my god, this man is like, me, my co-workers and my chargers were like, what should we call, code strong on him, or code, because he was getting agitated. He was just getting out of control, and just like, ah, shit. So I kind of calmed him down. I walked him back to the room and stuff like that. And when this man pulled out, during the day shift, he pulled out 2 IVs. So they placed two brand new IVs on him, and then he pulled them out. So then during my shift, I'm like, nah, not in my watch. I wrapped so I make sure that the one that they put during the day shift, I wrapped it up real nicely. I was like, I told him, if you gotta use the bathroom, let us know. We'll come in and help you, and and go to the bathroom. When I tell you guys, this man did not listen. He pulled 2 IVs. Like the second time, oh my god, there was literally blood everywhere. Blood on his sheets, blood all over the floor, all over the bathroom. I was just like, what were you doing? 2 times. And I came to his room to like, check up on him. This man was full blown watching porn, you guys. Like he was watching porn. And then at some point, like one time, so I walk in the room, he was standing up, and then he was literally jacking off. I was just like, what? I was like, what? Like, you're in a hospital. What are you doing? And then because we also had like a heart monitor on him, because he is having like alcohol withdrawals. They tend to have like really high high blood pressure, high pulses and stuff like that. Like his pulse was running in like the 160s. The monitor tech, she kept on calling me. She called me about like 10 times about for that man. She called me about 10 times talking about his heart rate is like in the 160s, the 150s. I'm like, so I go, doing my nursely duties. I go check up on him. This man was jacking up. He's talking about, oh yeah, I was just jacking up, doing things that I'm not supposed to be doing. I'm like, you know what? So okay, so that was that. So then the nights going by and stuff like that, like this man is still agitated. He's getting agitated. He's getting more anxious. I give him his pain meds. I gave him some Ativan. Nothing worked. Like when I tell you guys, nothing was working for that man. So I was just praying God. I was like, yo, I just need to get through this shift. I just need to get through 7 o'clock so I can hand it out to the. I'm sorry. I know it sounds bad, but literally that's exactly how I was feeling. I was ready to just get it over with and move on. So yeah. I like to take my break like around 4 o'clock ish, like right before it's time for me to go, because I guess it just give me that extra boost. And I always try to like chart on all of my patients before I take a break, like as in like a reward after I chart and give out my my meds and all that stuff. So after so he did pull out the IV before I went on my break. So I asked one of my coworkers, because he's very good with IVs. So I told him to go and put in a new IV on him. So which he did. He called me right after he finished. He was like, yeah, I got a new IV on him again. And I was like, okay, thank you. And then so about 5-10 minutes after, I go to because it was time for me to give him his pain med. So I go grab his medication. I was like, okay. So I go to his room. This man was gone. Like, He took his book bag, he took his clothes, he packed everything, and this man was gone. Like, with the brand new IV in his hand. In my head, I'm just like, what the what? What is going on? Like, I was so confused. I was like, where did this man go? So I called security. I called the overhead people, like telling him, saying, ask this patient, to come back in their room and stuff like that, in the overhead thing. I forgot what they're called. We did that. This man did not come back. And the funny thing is, guess what this man did? He left a note saying to remember our crazy night. And then he has his Facebook and his Instagram, name for me to follow him. I was like, wait, after all this craziness you made me go through, and then you want me to, like, when I tell you this man was crazy, he was crazy, like, crazy. So that was my night. So I had to stay back, do a whole incident report. This man left with the IV in his, because he had the IV in his hand, and because he was going through like withdrawals and stuff, and we don't know if he does drugs. I'm pretty sure if he's been drinking and stuff like that, he probably do drugs too. So in our head, we're just like, dang, this man about to be in channel 5, 10 news, found dead because he shot shot some type of drug and OD. So I mean, but in my head, like, I felt bad, but at the same time I didn't, because he waited until we put in a brand new IV on him, and then he left with the IV, so that they were like telling me, oh, how I have to call the police, blah blah blah. You gotta try to call him and see if he can come back to at least just take off the IV. We tried calling his cell phone, went straight to voicemail. It rang. Well, we tried with the hospital phone, nothing. It went straight to voicemail, and then we called it like one of our personal phones, and then that thing just went, it just rang. So we're just like, whatever. After I did my incident report, I went home. I was just like, this man better off than, like, he is good, and I'm over here stressing about this. Like, if he wanted to, he left. Okay, he didn't want no treatment, he left. So what, the reason why he actually came to the hospital was not the reason, was not because of the alcohol withdrawal. That was just another thing that they were treating him for. So like, it was just a mess. And then today, like, I thought, I got the same patient that I gave away to the nurse the night before. I got him back, and he was actually worse. When I tell you guys, I honestly felt like he was going to die. Like, I was praying God the whole shift that he did not die on me, because I'm like, yo, I cannot do a third of it, like, I cannot go through these paperworks anymore, because like it would be my third one. So like, when I tell you guys, I was praying the whole shift. Like, I was shaking. I was like, yo, because every time I go in the room, like, he just sounded worse and worse. Like, his breathing was very labored, he was very congested. It was just horrible. And then he had like this very high temperature of like 102.5. That thing was not going. I tried everything. I put ice pack. I called the doctor trying to see if they can get some some Tylenol, some type of Tylenol, because he couldn't he couldn't take anything by mouth, because he was basically comatose. Like, he couldn't move, he couldn't do anything. So we're just like, and we had to get this temperature down, because I'm like, I don't know how this dying thing works. I don't know how this process works, but I'm not trying to speed up this process. So I was trying to do everything. Like, I was calling the doctors, and then they finally gave me an order to an alternative way, to a suppository Tylenol. But we did that, and honestly, truly, guys, that did not help at all because his temperature was still high throughout the whole night. I was just praying to God. I was like, Lord, this. I know this was just not my week. I just need to get through this shift so I can go home. And you guys, thankfully, you guys, oh my God, thankfully, he made it through the shift. And then they actually called me the hospital that the facility that he was supposed to go to. They actually called me like right before I left, right before my shift ended. They called me saying that they have a bed available, blah blah, and then call to get a report, so so they so he can be transferred upstairs. I was like, thank you God. I was like, no, but my thing is, I was worried because I was like, okay, if we, because I was like, I don't want to move him too much because he looked like he was very fragile. And he was a very big man too. Like, he was very fragile, and I feel like and especially with those hospice patients, like if you move them too much, if you do too much to them, especially if they're like near death, like that will make the whole process faster. So I was just like, yeah, we're gonna wait right before change the shift. We're going to move him upstairs. So yeah, right before my shift ended, I called, get report, and then I called for transportation, and then they came in. They came. The thing is that they came. They came at like at shift change. So which means technically it's for the other nurse, but then again, I'm just like, that would be. I felt bad because I'm just like, it was my patient, so I helped them transfer him from the other bed to the other bed. Oh my God, I was so scared because that man, like when I tell you, he was so fragile. Like he was hanging to like a thread. I really hope that he does live a little bit longer. But it's just so sad seeing somebody in so much pain, and seeing them in that condition. It's just like like, is it worth them suffering, watching them suffering, than just but then again, that's just how I seen it. Like, it was just a very sad case. But thankfully, guys, as soon as we put him on the bed, packed him up, gave him his little oxygen, he was upstairs, and I was like, I could finally be. I didn't like that night. I honestly did not try to like 2 or 3 of my patients. I had nothing at all. But I was just so relieved that was done with. Like, I was so relieved that like he it sounds bad, but like, I was just glad that he didn't die on me, because if he did, oh my gosh, if he died on me, you guys, I know I'm gonna have to deal with the whole death things. I know at some point I'm going to experience it, but this week just was not the week for me to experience it, and it just wasn't. Like, my week was just crazy, guys. Like, when I tell you but anyways, you guys, it's Friday. I woke up at so I got home at like 9 o'clock this morning. I didn't go to sleep until like 10 o'clock. I took a little nap. I woke up at like 2 o'clock, cleaned my room, because my room has been a mess since I came back from my trip. I didn't clean at all. So I cleaned a little bit, I'm like, let me shoot some videos. I got my wine. I got a little music playing in the back, trying to, rewind the whole week, because it was a very stressful week. I'm just so glad that I'm here. I made it through the week, made it through. So I'm ready for the next week. The next week will be better. I know it's going to be better. But anyways, guys, this is my story of a little story of how my week went, and how crazy nursing can be, you guys. Nursing can be crazy. The job is crazy, you guys. It's crazy, but at the same time, I do love it. But anyways, guys, this is it for this video. If you guys like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And yes, I will be trying to do more videos like this. If you guys like this video, please comment and let me know if you guys do, and I will make more story times. So yeah, let me drink some wine. All right, y'all, so I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.